Have you ever just stopped and thought that maybe what we see as amazing skill or incredible success, maybe even just plain old certainty, might actually be, well, luck? Just sheer luck in disguise.
Oh, absolutely. It's this fascinating idea, the lucky fool. Really.
Exactly, the lucky fool. Someone who just gets this incredible streak of good fortune, achieves massive success, but is totally convinced, absolutely certain it was all down to their brilliant, calculated plans.
And it's everywhere, isn't it? This mix-up between skill and luck. You see it in finance, of course, but also business, politics, even how we look at science sometimes.
Yeah, like a CEO taking all the credit when the whole market just happened to go up.
Or a politician claiming their policy single-handedly fixed the economy when, a million other random things were happening.
Right. So that's what we're doing today. We want to pull back the curtain a bit, look at these hidden roles, chance plays, challenge some of those assumptions we all make about cause and effect.
And hopefully give you some tools, some ways to look at the world a bit more.
Get ready for some, hopefully, aha moments. We want to show you the statistical truths kind of hiding behind everyday stuff. And especially why, looking back, things always seem so much less random than they actually were.
That clarity of hindsight.
Okay, let's dive into that first big mental trap. Hindsight bias. We all do it. You look back at something could be good, could be bad, and you just feel it deep down. Oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen. It's such a strong feeling. But is it real? How accurate is that feeling?
Well, our brains just love creating that feeling. Hindsight bias. It's basically our mind cooking up these explanations after the event.
Backfitting it.
Exactly. Backfitting explanations ex post, after the fact. It makes the past seem neat, tidy, predictable, way less random than it felt at the time. Our minds basically rewrite history on the fly.
Like that journalist you mentioned.
Right. I remember reading this piece, analyzing some big business figure, talking about their uncanny ability and timing moves. And you read it and you think, well, how much of that is just seeing a pattern after it happened? It's narrative building.
And the scary part is even experts fall for it.
People who make predictions for a living get them wrong time after time. They still think, okay, next time, I'll get it right next time. Because when they look back, their brain shows them this clear, obvious path. All the uncertainty just vanishes in the rearview mirror.
Okay, so hindsight bias makes the past look clearer, makes us think we saw it coming. But what if the clarity is also skewed by what we even get to see?
What do you mean?
I mean, when we look at success stories, the winners, the people held up as examples, what if they're only like half the picture? What if all the failures are just invisible?
Now you're getting into survivorship bias.
Yeah.
And that's a huge distortion. It's exactly that. We only see the survivors, the winners. So our whole view of the odds of how things actually work gets completely warped. Often makes things look way easier or more certain than they are.
It makes sense. You don't read articles about the thousands of startups that failed.
Precisely.
For investment managers. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Imagine you start with, say, 10,000 fictional investment managers.
Okay.
And each year, they basically flip a coin, 50% chance they make money, 50% chance they lose money.
Okay.
But here's the rule. One bad year, and you're out. Fired. Gone.
So after year one, about 5,000 are gone.
Roughly. Yeah.
Year two, another 2,500 gone.
But here's the amazing part. Even with those totally fair 50-50 odds, the simulation shows that after, let's say, 5 years, you'll still have a small group left, maybe around 184 managers in this specific example.
And they've had 5 good years in a row.
5 good years in a row, purely by chance. 5 coin flips came up heads for them.
Wow. Okay, so those 184, they look like geniuses.
They look like absolute stars. Everyone wants to know their secret.
Well, the other, what was it? 9,816?
The vast majority.
We're just gone. Nobody studies their strategies.
Exactly. So this means that any population of managers, even if they were all actually bad at their jobs or just average,
Could still produce a few superstars through luck.
just through random chance. And weirdly, volatility sometimes, it makes it incredibly difficult, almost impossible, to tell real skill from luck when someone just shows up with a great track record.
So knowing someone made money in the past.
No, not unless you know how many others started out alongside them and failed. What was the size of the original pool? That's the crucial question.
And this isn't just finance, is it?
We look at successful entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, anyone who's made it. And we immediately think, wow, incredible talent, unbelievable hard work.
They survive.
Exactly. We don't see the thousands who had similar dreams, worked just as hard, maybe were just as talented, but didn't get that lucky break or hit that patch of bad luck. If a manager comes to you, says they were one of 10 people trying a strategy and they succeeded, Okay, maybe you listen.
But if they were one of 10,000?
You should probably ignore their result entirely, because that's often the reality now. Think of all the smart people trying trading, failing, and then becoming dentists. You need to understand the generator of those results, the whole statistical picture, not just the shiny outcome.
Okay, so hindsight bias messes with our view of the past. Survivorship bias messes with our view of present success. It really sounds like our brains are just, well, fundamentally bad with probabilities.
That's a huge part of it.
We seem to prefer stories, clear narratives, over messy odds.
You've nailed it. Our minds just aren't equipped, really, with the right machinery to handle probability well. And it's not just everyday folks. Even experts get tripped up constantly. We latch onto vivid, immediate stuff way more than abstract statistics.
That airplane insurance example is perfect for that.
Ask one group of people how much they pay for flight insurance covering death from any reason. Then ask another group how much for insurance covering death only from a terrorist act.
And people pay more.
Often, yes, even though any reason obviously includes terrorism. But terrorism is vivid, it's scary, it grabs our attention. It feels like a more specific, tangible risk, so we overweight it. We don't like insuring against vague things. We want to picture the danger.
It's crazy, and it happens with really basic stuff too, like life expectancy.
Oh, the life expectancy fallacy. That's a great example of these blind spots. You hear some experts say, okay, average life expectancy is, say, 73.
Right. Simple math.
Once you've actually reached 68, your conditional life expectancy is higher. You've already dodged bullets others didn't.
So if you're 80, your life expectancy isn't -7 years.
Exactly. You've outlived the average. Your remaining expectancy goes up. But people confuse the two all the time, and it affects big decisions, like retirement planning.
It's amazing how these basic probability errors creep in, even for professionals, like the options trading thing.
Yeah, that's a really critical one, especially in finance. You might have an option, right? Let's say there's a 90% chance it expires worthless. But there's a 10% chance it could be worth, say, $10 on average if it pays off.
Okay, so the expected value is 10% of 10.
The expected value is $1. But psychologically, people get fixated on that 90% chance of getting zero. They underweight the potential payoff.
And that makes it hard to stick with certain strategies.
Definitely. Strategies like long volatility, they often involve taking small, consistent losses, waiting for that rare, big payoff when the market makes a huge, unexpected move. Bleeding a little bit most of the time for a massive gain occasionally. It takes real mental discipline to stick with that when the most likely outcome each day or week is a small loss.
So why are we like this? Why are our brains so probability blind? Why do we love the vivid story more than the boring statistic?
Our brains weren't really designed for perfect statistical understanding. They were designed to help us get out of trouble quickly, survive, reproduce.
Run away from the lion to find the berries.
Spending ages calculating precise odds wouldn't have been very helpful back then. It would slow you down. So we developed mental shortcuts, heuristics. Herbert Simon called it satisficing, doing what's good enough, quick enough.
And those shortcuts are useful most of the time.
Incredibly useful in the environments we evolved in. But they leave us really vulnerable to errors when dealing with the complex, abstract, probability-driven systems our genes just haven't caught up.
Okay, so given all this, the biases, the probability blindness, how do we actually make better sense of things? How do we avoid being completely fooled by randomness all the time?
It is tough. It's a constant effort. But we do have some powerful tools. One of the most important comes from the philosopher Karl Popper, the idea of falsification.
Falsification, meaning trying to prove things wrong.
Essentially, yes. The core idea is that you can use data, evidence, to disprove a theory or a proposition. But you can never use it to definitively prove one.
So seeing the market hasn't crashed 20%?
Doesn't logically let you jump to it.
Yeah.
Popper argued the real power of science and evidence lies in refuting conjectures, in finding out where we're wrong, not just confirming what we already think we know.
We're always looking for confirmation.
Seeking disconfirmation is a much more robust way to deal with uncertainty, even if it feels less comfortable. Another related idea is distilled thinking.
Distilled thinking.
Trying to strip away all the noise, the clutter, the meaningless stuff that grabs our attention, but doesn't actually tell us much.
Yeah.
Think about journalism versus history. Journalism often focuses on the immediate, the sensational, the noise. History, ideally, tries to filter out that noise and find the deeper, more significant patterns. Imagine a financial journalist acting like a historian. Well, the market went up today, but honestly, this is probably just random noise and doesn't mean much for the long term.
They probably wouldn't have a job for long.
Exactly. Because we crave those immediate, seemingly certain narratives, even if they're mostly noise.
And what about those really big, unexpected events, the black swans, the things that seem impossible until they happen?
Those often come from what we call nonlinear effects. Tiny causes leading to massive, disproportionate results. The straw that breaks the camel's back.
Right.
My own work actually often involves trying to structure things, skewed bets, to benefit from these rare, unexpected events. You're essentially trying to profit from other people's probabilistic blind spots and their aversion to extreme uncertainty.
That sounds like a real mental game, especially thinking about those sudden market blow-ups.
Those financial blow-ups are almost textbook examples of ignoring randomness. People lose catastrophic amounts of money because they genuinely believe such an event was impossible. Often it's just ignorance or this stubborn belief that this time is different, refusing to learn from history.
So what's the answer?
Well, you can't eliminate randomness. It will, as the saying goes, always have the last word. So the answer isn't perfect prediction. It's dignity.
Dignity.
Acting with a kind of inner scorecard, a protocol of behavior that doesn't bend with every random gust of fortune or misfortune. It's about how you conduct yourself, your integrity, your grace under pressure, focusing on your actions, which you can control, rather than obsessing over the outcomes, which are often wildly unpredictable and outside your control. It's a kind of stoicism, really.
Okay, so we've really dug into how randomness shapes so much, haven't we? From the way we look back with hindsight bias to how survivorship bias skews our view of success.
And then exploring ways to cope.
And understanding this, it's not about being negative or cynical. It's actually empowering, isn't it? It can help us make smarter choices, maybe be a bit more humble, and perhaps even find a more resilient kind of happiness.
I think so. If maybe embracing the randomness, the uncertainty, rather than constantly fighting it with these flimsy illusions of certainty.
Yeah.
Consider this thought experiment.
Okay.
Imagine a commuter, someone totally ruled by the train schedule, always stressed. What if just occasionally their train times were deliberately randomized a little? Might they actually experience less stress, maybe find some unexpected good moments, by letting go of that need for perfect predictability?
That's an interesting thought. So, for you listening, maybe think about that. Is there some small corner of your life where you could intentionally inject a little randomness? Or just deeply question an assumption you hold as certain?
What sacred cow of certainty in your world might actually be a hidden vulnerability?
Something to definitely ponder.